Ellie Kate, and today I will be presenting a speech on why prostitution should be illegal. I'm not able to have two people here for my speech, but I have my brother. According to CATS 2022, New York has completely reversed its policies against prostitution, going from 20,000 annual arrests in 1985 to barely more than 100 in the year 2022. Prostitution should be taken way more seriously than it actually is. This is a real issue that needs to be dealt with. This is not okay. Prostitution should not be normalized and looked past. We as a country need to come together and connect ourselves and work together to help stop prostitution. We should all want each other to succeed in life, and having to sell ourselves for money or fame is not okay. This is why you should listen to this speech. I've done extensive research on this topic, and over the course of my life, I have seen prostitution in action. Whether that's a woman on the streets trying to sell her body, or even women on social media who post suggested videos or photos just to lure men to message them. In this speech, I will persuade you about why prostitution is bad and should be illegal for good. First, I will argue in favor of making prostitution illegal for good. Second, I will talk about the opposing side of my argument. Last, I will rebuttal the reasons on why prostitution is illegal and it's the right thing to do. Prostitution does nothing but create issues for multiple groups of different people. Prostitution does not benefit any groups of people. There is no reason why prostitution should be a thing in the first place. Yes, there are many things in this country that we have that don't necessarily benefit this country, but those are also things that help us grow, and we still keep them. Prostitution, though, is something we don't really need. This is an ongoing issue that I see happening. This is why it does not benefit the country. Dansby Lake 2018. Prostitution ruins women's and men's lives. When a woman or man decides to start selling themselves for money, you're going on a big downward spiral. Prostitution is a big industry, and once you're in it, you can't stop. It is very demanding, and prostitution also taints you for life. CATS 2022. Prostitution can also taint children. Personally, I've seen children be traumatized and tainted from a woman trying to sell herself. Lots of prostitutes don't really shield their children from their work. When children are exposed to it for long periods of time, they can sometimes figure out that it is morally wrong, and children should be protected no matter what. They don't understand the things us adults do, and as a sex worker, you should shield them from the things that you're doing. Genesis J, T. Moore, and World G 2023. Now that we have talked about why we should make prostitution illegal, I will discuss the opposing sides, what they disagree with. Prostitution doesn't affect anyone anymore. Prostitution used to be a bigger deal than it is now. You don't go outside and see multiple sex workers try to sell themselves like you did back then. It's so normalized these days that we're all just numb to it. Why does it matter? What does it matter changing? There's no point in trying to get rid of it because it's actually what some people want. Genesis J, Moore, T, and World G 2023. Prostitution is some form of people's main income. When women can't find a stable job, they can turn to prostitution easily. When jobs are scarce, they can find a man on the streets and he'll pay them, and it's easy money. It's a fast, cheap buck. Prostitution can be valuable when you can't find a job. Harvard International Law Journal, 2025. Sex workers are trying to be good people. Just because a sex worker isn't a good person does not mean that they're actually not a good person. Sex workers, deep down, are good people. Just because on the outside they do things that are morally wrong does not mean we should criticize them. These poor women earn money in big cities, especially like LA and New York. Ty C. Alexander, 2018. Now that I have talked about my opposing side's view, I will discuss my rebuttal. Prostitution still affects people. Just because you don't see a sex worker on the street physically does not mean prostitution isn't a thing anymore. It's actually bigger now than it was back then. There are millions of women and even men online who show their bodies just for clout. This is exactly why nobody cares and why we're all numb to it. Yes, getting rid of prostitution as a whole world is a large task, but it very clearly would benefit this world. You can see many people, many young women especially, wearing crop tops, makeup, and caring about their appearance at such a young age. Women and children should not have to worry about that. This prostitution makes it worse. Genesis J, Moore T, and World G 2023. You should not have to fall in sex work for money. Although many women's form of income is prostitution, it doesn't make it right. Nobody should have to rely on selling themselves or their body just for money. We should have more jobs available if they need one. There are more jobs available, whether that's a little coffee shop, a little gas station, just any little job. When it comes to jobs, there are lots of options. You can even do work for neighbors. Prostitution can ruin your life and even ruin relationships. I've watched it rip apart family and friends. Cole K, 2025. Prostitutes are usually protected in this country in a way. These sex workers can easily go to the police and lie about assault and get whoever was paying them in trouble. These sex workers they have tons of leverage and make so much money to do whatever they want and undermine the law and get away with it. Vans Bilek, 2018. Now that I have discussed all my main points for this argument, I will move on to my conclusion and wrap up this speech. In this speech, I persuaded you on why prostitution is illegal and should stay that way. First, I argued in favor of making prostitution illegal and getting rid of it for good. Next, I talked about my opposing side's view on this argument. Next, I rebuttal the reason on why prostitution should be illegal, and it is the right thing to do. According to Genesis J, Moore T, and World G 2023, women loiter in front of pool halls, dentist shops, and even massage parlors day and night, trying to recruit neighborhood children to hand out X-rated business cards. Moms all over the world are concerned for their children's safety, but imagine if it was your child coming home with a stack of inappropriate business cards to hand out from a prostitute. I think it's time we do something about this ongoing issue. My solution to this reoccurring problem is to sign a petition that states everybody who signs it is in favor of arresting and getting rid of all prostitutes and loiterers. Prostitution is such a big issue, it often gets overlooked because it's so normalized. But just because it's normal doesn't make it right. Let's fix this issue. Thank you for listening to my speech.